Go.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Late Late Horror Show. We're talking Scooby-Doo tonight, so hold on to your hula hoops.
Is it just me?
Zoinks! Welcome, everybody. Oh, I blew that. Anyways, we're going. Zoinks the podcast. Here we go. We're going to talk Scooby-Doo, episodes 1 and 2. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. Hey, just in time. Dave Plouffe, lifeguard, Rocky Point Beach. Yeah, where they get down and a lot of groovy late 60s stuff going on in this this thing. I didn't remember how much of that stuff, like how they talk, the slang for the kiddos back in the day. Was
Oh,
pretty
totally.
funny.
It was so keen. And we'll talk about the gymnast and all that. It's
Yeah, we got plenty to talk about. Yeah. So yeah, we're here to talk about Scooby-Doo. We're going to see how it goes, and then maybe we'll start going in order here and see what we do. But yeah, Zoinks the podcast, episode number 1. And the first one we're going to talk about is What a Night for a Night. Season 1, episode 1. Aired Saturday, September 13th, 1969, Dave.
That was before
Saturday.
we were born. And I noticed they were both on Saturday. So I'm thinking probably a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yes. I'm thinking so. Let me say hello to the people in the chat.
You do that. I'm going to close my door because mariachi music just began.
Mariachi music outside Dave's house. What the heck? Well, that's California for you. Anyways, Shakedown. What is going on? Professor Hyde White. Yes, Professor Hyde White. Valencia Burns. Hey, everyone. What's going on? J.O.B. I studied and watched both episodes last night, so bring it. There you go. Very fun episodes. The first episode is where we get, and we'll talk about it. The glass is falling off from Velma, and she can't find, but that'll be fun to talk about. Lick Lord, OHAM. What's going on? Good evening to you, good sir. Here listening and cooking, good sir, madam. Everybody. Connie Clary, what's going on? William Curie is here today. Good to see you. Andrea. I know Harry Scott was here earlier. Lizzie Armstrong is here. Chris W. Happy Saturday to Dino and Dave, who I love. Love you back, Chris W.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. OCG, yeah, you're back. This is a first. I've been listening for nearly a year, but this is a first to be with you guys live. I thought you popped into a chat once. I remember the name, but maybe not. My name is Marge from Rayford, North Carolina. Good to see you, Marge. Everybody welcome Marge. WTF Horror and Sci-Fi. Hey, y'all. Scooby-Doo, Zoinks, Scoob. The podcast. Scooby-Doo is the best. I was there during episode 1, parked in front of the TV. I think a lot of us were. Hey, KJ. Hey. It's KJ.
Hey, Jay.
So, and we got somebody else. Andrew
KJ lives near me. And by the way, it has been so warm here in Southern California, hence the mariachi music outside. It was like 84 degrees yesterday.
Oh, geez.
So,
yeah, we're cold here. So
yeah. I always watch the news. I'm like, I think that's snow over there.
Yeah, that's snow over here. It's snow on the ground. Lulu Bell, what's going on? Good to see you. There was Andrew Nelson in the chat. Hello and welcome, Andrew. Can't wait to start talking about this. Robin Nest, 63 years old, having Matchbox mystery machine on the kitchen window. See, I knew there was going to be a lot of nostalgia. And who said here, Shakedown, Dave's California. Did you ever see the band? Nope, he did not.
I saw No Doubt.
You saw No Doubt?
Before they were famous. I mean, they're literally.
Well, good for you. Yeah.
There's a man of Indian descent in the band,
yes.
And his dad and I knew each other because we worked out at the same gym.
Well, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
A lot of fun.
Perks of being near Hollywood. Anyways, Lick Lord says, really love the backgrounds of the show. Captain Cutler creeped me out as a little kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The backgrounds, listen, this is 1969. This is Hanna-Barbera. Joseph Hanna, William Barbera, who are icons in the cartoon business, right? We might even go through a list of some of their shows a little bit later on, because man, the list, and it starts in 1957. 50 sign. What's going on, Dave? 1957 and 1960, The Rough and Ready Show. 156 episodes. It's kind of like a dog show. Like
I would imagine.
Like Droopy. Rough. Shut up. I'm off to a great start, people. Rough and Ready. It's a mouse and a dog kind of like Droopy, that's what it looks like, but we'll go over some of these cartoons. I think that'll be interesting. But yeah, here we go. Let's start talking about this. I did say hello to Lulu Bell. Merry Christmas to everybody. It's coming up really quickly. Today is Saturday, and we got 5 days till Christmas. So there you go. It's freezing here in PA. Is it 5 days, Dave? You looked really strange, so I might be wrong.
Saturday is today.
1,
Sunday,
2,
Monday,
3,
Tuesday,
4,
4 days.
5. So 4.5. How about that, Dave?
My computer says it's the 21st. I think Christmas is the 25th.
Yeah, so 4 days.
4 days.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, KJ. No, HR puffin stuff.
They're weird. That was some weird, wild stuff, as Johnny Carson would say. Chris W saw No Doubt in a school gym. Oh my God.
Oh wow.
I would have loved to have seen her in a school gym. She's beautiful. Anyways.
She really is.
Oh, she is, without Gwen Stefani.
I never should have done it.
Nah, Dave, I told you. Because this was not long ago, but she's married to what's his name? I don't know his name. Hey, listen, we're here for Scooby-Doo. Zoinks! My dad's birthday is Christmas. Happy birthday to your dad, Valencia. Yeah. Only 25 episodes of the original Scooby-Doo, so you guys can do them all by February. Well, yeah, if we did it we jump all around. It takes us a long time.
We're kind of booked through February. I saw all the thumbnails you did, so thank you for that too.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. The next one I'm trying to put together, which is harder, is the singing the tunes from this, the sitcom tunes. This is going to be a tough show. I think it's going to be a blast, but it's going to be a wild show. Hey, Bubba, what's going on? Good to see each and every one of you guys.
It would actually be good if not we drank, but our chat drank. I think that's really what'll make that show the best.
That's something. That's right. Let's get to it. So, season 1, episode 1. This is the very first one. Like I said, Saturday, September 13th, 1969. I don't know if it was. I think it was after the moon launch. I think it was the summer that the moon. They landed on the moon, supposedly, Dave. But okay, let's not go there.
And your tie-in with Scooby-Doo.
What a night for a night. And
so good. 7.8 on IMDb.
Yeah.
Do you think it was worth it, a 7.8?
Yeah, I think it. I mean, it's high, but it's high. Scooby Snacks. Oh boy, we're going there already. Anyways, no reference to Scooby Snacks and what they are, just that Scooby wants them, and that's how they get him to do what he wants to do. But
they are edibles. Yes, they are.
They're edibles from the 60s. They're not gummies, but anyways, lots of some firsts in this, and I love again, like they said, the background, 1960s cartoons. You just can't beat the background and the way everything was, and the hippies.
And this really reminds me, and I look back at our Halloween episode where we talked about our 10 favorite Halloween shows, and one of them for me was It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Yeah,
and this has that same aura with the watercolor backgrounds, always the full moon, the trees, everything it's so beautiful. And honestly, I would love some of
Zoinks!
those.
It is, Dave. It
Some of
is.
those stills
Yeah.
as artwork. I think those would be fantastic.
Oh gosh, can you imagine how much those are worth right now? But yeah, the stills are fantastic. Yeah. What can I say about Scooby-Doo? Where are you? I never cared for a lot of the other older ones. Some of them are good, but this is the classic. This is where it all started, and this is what I love, man. Chad Farr, good to see you. Yeah, Dave.
Well,
So
one thing that surprised me when I started looking into talking about this particular episode,
yeah.
I wasn't familiar with the characters' last names.
No, and yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah, let's talk about the characters and the actors who played them.
All right. Well, we're going to start off with really my favorite, which is Velma.
Velma, yes.
And by the way, have you seen the new Velma on Max?
I have not.
Okay, don't.
I won't.
It's literally, I just looked it up on IMDb and about 1,000 reviews, and it's a 1.6.
Oh my gosh.
I've never seen something that low. So Velma Dinkley is her name, and she's voiced by Nicole Jaffe.
Oh, and that IMDb photo.
Oh,
listen, late 1960s models like Twiggy, Mia Farrow, how that look. Oh, they're so beautiful.
You could fry an egg on her IMDb picture. It's so hot.
But she didn't do much. She really didn't do much.
No.
Yeah, it was mostly Velma, and she did do a few other things, but that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Then we have Daphne Blake. And
say that name, Dave.
What?
Say that name. What's her name?
Stefaniana Christopherson.
Well, good for you. Okay.
Yeah, I practiced that. That was a tough name. I almost put Steph, but she is as beautiful as Daphne is. Again, 1960s, beautiful model looking. She did quite a lot of work. She was in also shows such as MASH. She was in Sanford and Sons. In fact, she's in the episode called Happy Birthday Pop, where she plays the hat check girl.
Oh, wow. A bit role. Okay. Good going deep on that. Yeah.
We then have Fred Jones, who is voiced by Frank Welker. And
who, by the way, they never mentioned Fred's name in this first episode. Very odd, but we'll come to know him as Fred.
We will.
Yes.
And Frank has over 900 credits on
IMDb. Holy Jesus.
So that's 900 different shows. And you think some of them had 142 different episodes within them. So this guy was a prolific, hopefully very wealthy voiceover artist.
I'm sure very wealthy. And yes, I was telling Dave, voice actors back even now, you can really rack up the IMDb acting credits, but come on, even 900, that's definitely a lot, especially when he's done a lot of big voice roles like, he did in here, being Fred, but he's had other roles too, which I didn't go through them all, but yeah.
And cool. Licklord agrees that Velma is genuinely bad and not worth the time.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to watch it. Zoinks! Not me!
Speaking of which, the next person is Casey Kasem.
Casey Kasem!
America's Top 40.
Yes, American Top 40. Okay, cool.
And Shaggy's real name is Norville, which we'll actually find out in a later episode.
Yeah.
Rogers is his last name. So very
Norville Rogers, the gymnast. We're gonna find out he's a gymnast, but in high school. Very interesting facts they threw out in this one.
Don Messick plays Scooby-Doo.
Yep.
And then finally we have John Stephenson, who plays the Black Knight.
There you go.
Now, also,
and we also have a couple of voice actors who kind of voice a lot of the extra characters. Go ahead.
We do. But I wanted to particularly talk about the Black Knight character because he also voiced Mr. Slate on the Flintstones.
Nice, Mr. Slate.
And he was
Yeah.
also the announcer for I Love Lucy when that aired.
Okay.
He was
Okay.
the Philip Morris announcer.
Okay. Nice. Yeah,
So
I'm
that
sure
is
he
our
did.
cast of characters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There was a there's always that voice actor who does the characters who get caught, and it's him, it's Mr. Johnson or whatever, and he does the voice and stuff like that. But so yeah, there you go. All the names, all the people. Very interesting looking at these voice actors, that's for sure. And the music, gotta love the music. I mean, yeah, Dave, it's just
I think that's the Ohio Express who sings the theme
there you
song.
go.
And I love also all the, I don't know if you would call it secondary music, but all
Soundtrack. Yeah.
all the little fun stuff. Ooh, we have
Mr. Slate, the penny pincher. Yes, Chris W. And Taylor Jenkins.
hi Taylor.
Producer David H. Cohen, yes, producer of Futurama, described Frank Welker as one of the most sought-after voice actors for animal sounds. Welker played Nibbler on Futurama. Nice. Futurama, such a good show. That's another one with Bender, the robot. That was a good show. Anyways, Scott, I'm here for Scooby Chat. Zoinks, good to see ya. My voice ain't quite there tonight. What's going on?
And it looks like the Rise of the Flag at Iwo Jima.
There you go. Okay, so we got 2 episodes to talk about. Let's talk about the first episode and that plot for What a Night for a Night. And we get the good old pickup truck driving down the street, Dave. The good old music. And there's a crate back there,
There is. And there's a stamp on the crate, and it writes, or it says on it, Jameson Hyde White, Professor of Archaeology, London, England.
Yes.
And then we're treated to a Dracula. Crate opens, and it's the Black Knight. Although we have a lot of knights once we get to the museum, and I thought they were all black, but whatever. And so then the guy's like driving down the road, and then in the passenger back window, we see the face of the knight.
Yes. And when Shaggy and the gang come to look at the knight too, there's nobody in the knight's outfit. There's nobody in there.
It's a Hollow Knight.
It is a Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight. That's the other thing. I didn't have time to really write down all these one-liners, but I tell you what, these episodes filled from beginning to end with lines from mostly Shaggy, but all of them, Fred, Velma, they all got these funny lines. They're all cheesy, but they're all very funny lines. So just watching the episode and listening to how they talk, because this is like kind of a comedy cartoon from the 60s, is just so funny. And
William Curry brings up a really good point. He says, what's so wild for me is listening to Frank Welker's voice. Fred. And thank you, having tough problems. And then when he's doing interviews, he sounds pretty much like his regular voice. And I have seen an interview with him too, and I totally agree, and I love that.
It's Fred. What the heck? Yeah, no.
Because if you don't know who it is, it takes you a while. It's like, I know that voice.
Yeah. Well, 900 credits. I mean, you definitely heard him in something growing up, even if it wasn't Scooby-Doo. But Radman197, asterisk, good Dino evening all. Here to learn some new stuff. Fill my brain, y'all. Yeah, I was going to get to the IMDb. They had again, Fred's name is never spoken or mentioned in this episode. This is the first episode of the series and the one that established Velma's ongoing joke of losing her glasses, which she does when Scooby bumps into her trying to get away from the Black Knight. Which, listen, when Scoob gets away from these people, and it tends to be Scooby that kind of catches the criminal all the time by a mishap and a screw up. So yeah, and I'm not sure if there's only episode to mention Shaggy was a gymnast in high school. This is mentioned by Daphne as Shaggy needs to jump from a ladder, and I can't wait to talk about that, Dave, into the museum window. This throwaway line may also answer the common question of how, in the oft-repeated chase footage of Scooby and Shaggy running from the danger, can Shaggy run as fast as a Great Dane? Huh. Well, whatever. Okay. I'll go with that. And then the last one is one of the only few episodes to show the van and the stuff in the back of the van.
Oh, that van was packed out.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
But
see how
later
they got Scooby and Shaggy back there.
No, but later episodes, the whole gang is back there, just like, hovering over everybody. So they're either squeezed in, but yeah, it's the only scene where you see Fred takes the ladder out, so that it can get Shaggy up there. And let's start talking about the episode so we can get to it, because that scene is funny.
We should. We have 50 people watching right now, and we also have 53 thumbs up. So thank you, everyone that's here, and especially all the new people that are here as well. There was one person I just saw, Rayan. I'm sorry.
Ray Bear is here.
Ray Bear. Okay.
What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, so the van is there, or not the van, but the pickup truck is there. The whole gang sees the night, and
we don't find the van yet. Hold on.
Oh my God.
We have Scooby and Shaggy walking back from a late night feature because Scooby wanted to stay and watch one more cartoon.
It sure is a nervous night out, is what he says.
Yep, and they're walking home, and then they hear ribbit, ribbit. And he's like, "What's that?" Like, hello, it's a frog. And Scooby searches through the bushes, and that's one of the one-liners where Scooby or Shaggy says, "Hey, go look! I'll be right behind you."
Yeah,
so good, good.
Scooby's always after something like the frog in the bushes and stuff like that, and Shaggy's always really nervous and scared. That's kind of his shtick, you know. Shaggy is he's a nervous guy, and that's why he needs to mellow out sometimes with Scooby. But yeah, it's a foggy night, and it starts off spooky, and really there's no reason for it because it wasn't a spooky movie that they've seen there, but they're coming back from. I don't know what the movie was. I forget what they said.
I did not write it down.
Yeah, it's not important, but yeah. So they're walking back, and that's when they end up seeing the pickup truck, and then with the crate in the back, with the night outfit and all that good stuff. So
yeah, then they go and get the gang. Gang shows up, and they're looking for everything, and the head falls off the night. It reminded me of that Three Stooges with Shemp. Yeah, I forget that name of that episode, but so good, so good. And then we're looking around, and it says deliver to the museum because everything's generic.
Well, Daphne found the label. It was on the ground, and it says deliver to County Museum. So yeah, that's how they end up at the museum. Well, gang, let's head over to the County Museum.
Then we have this beautiful Monticello type of building, right? It's got the dome, it's got the columns in front. It's got to be the museum. So
the houses and everything in these are just so great. I mean, it's where I got my inspiration for the Clue Club, as you would know. They even meet back at Burgers and Fries in all the Clue Club episodes that I do. So it's fun. It's fun.
And Ray Bear brings up a really good point. I like the Scooby-Doo movies. I love the Scooby-Doo movies. And that is one of the first things I do when I go on summer break is I bring them down and I watch all of them. And I think there's only one that hasn't been made available on DVD. There's 21 episodes available. 22 of them were shot and aired.
Are you talking about the Scooby-Doo live action films? Or
no. The Scooby-Doo movies, they would have Laurel and Hardy. They would have the Three Stooges. They would have the Harlem Globetrotters. My favorite is with the comedian with the wild hair, Phyllis Diller.
Oh, Phyllis Diller, yeah.
The Don Knotts episode is good. The Don Adams episode is good. There's a
Vincent Price
and Cher episode.
Oh, yes, there is.
Oh, God, that's a stinker.
But Dave, it's what made Scooby-Doo kind of cool too, to see these
yes,
big stars make an appearance on these shows were kind of cool. I liked it. I like the Don Knotts episode. Listen, anything Don Knotts is in is good for me.
I agree.
Yeah, Andy. Yeah.
And it's funny too, because I always think of Don Knotts and Tim Conway together. And Tim Conway did an later episode, where he played like a track coach or a, type of coach for this university that was having a track meet. And if it didn't go off, the university would close.
Yeah, didn't they do a couple of movie of the weeks that they would do together? It was mostly a Disney themed movie. They did a couple movies, Don Knotts and Tim Conway. But anyways, I could be wrong. Chris,
I think The Private Eyes is a wonderful film.
Yeah, let me say, Chris W. Clue Club is great. Yeah, season 1's there. Long awaiting season 2.
And were they also the Apple Dumpling Gang?
They were the Apple Dumpling Gang. Yes. Yep. So the label takes them to the museum, and who do we meet at the museum late at night? We meet Mr. Wickles. Wickles? It's Mr. Wickles.
I wrote 3 different names down. I don't even think
Wiggles.
I had Whipples.
You had Whipples?
Yep.
It's but like an MVP, Dave.
Later, I heard them with a K, Wickles. And then I heard like another name even later on. I'm like,
it's like an EVP. You got to listen to it a million times, and everybody's going to hear something different, because I thought it was Wickles. Anyways, Mr. Wickles is what I'm going to say. We could say whatever we want. Mr. Whipple was the guy who did the Charmin. Please don't squeeze the Charmin, Mr. Whipple does. So let's go with Mr. Wickles or Wiggles or whatever.
All right, Wickles is good.
And he's a jeweler, and he's got his trench coat on, and he's talking to the kids and answering questions. And yeah.
I wish you hadn't have found that Black Knight. And then he starts telling the story that, on nights where we have the moon is full, the night comes alive. And, then you actually see part of it where there's like little islets that open up, and there's this glowing yellow eyes in them. And that's really cool. And he tells his people, he has 2 workers. He's all put it in the medieval room, and they whisk it away into the other room, and Scooby follows them. And as they're passing one of these really cool sculptures of a dog,
Mr. Wiggle,
or another type of creature, Scooby finds like these like glasses that are just sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
And he
they're jeweler glasses, we come to find out.
Not until we go to the library, though.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. But I put down Scooby steals a pair of glasses from the museum.
He does.
In what episode of Kolchak does that remind you of this here? Come on. Night?
Well, it's the one, with the night, but I can't remember the name of it. But it's that stupid one where he steps on the phone in that rich guy's house.
Oh, God. I thought you'd know it. See, I can't remember either.
I just know the explanation.
It's on our bottom 5. Anyways, no, that wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad. No, I was vice president of the Canadian.
Oh, God. Yeah. Well, you got that down, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was like an importer exporter, and he was selling wine, and they were going to make the museum into a discotheque.
Yeah, discotheque. Yes, that's the one. Okay, so Scooby, we find out after they leave the museum, because the jeweler also says that, there's also no sign of Professor Hyde White.
Right, and that's the main goal. I have something funny to tell you about Scott. So Scott says, off topic, it's the shortest day of the year. And so happy winter solstice, everybody. But when I was a kid, I was so dumb. I actually thought it was the shortest day of the year. Like we didn't have 24 hours in the day. And I'm just like, how am I going to get everything done? Oh God. Oh, and here I
Yeah,
am today.
I
Yep.
could see that your stupidity would be that high as a
Yep.
child.
Oh,
but-
it
Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. No, I'm joking.
it hit the charts, right, man? It pegged that needle.
Shortest day of the year, Mom. What does that mean?
Well, and it was opposite too, because the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, and it's like I put down on my calendar, have to be at school the largest amount of time. Damn.
No, you got to be kidding me. What the heck? That is so funny.
Oh gosh.
Oh, you poor kid. Summer must have been awful then. Well, you would have been out of school, but anyways. Let's see. Chris W. This discourse really makes me appreciate the artistic value of Scooby-Doo. Of all it went into it. Yes, 100%. 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo was cool. Yeah, there was a lot. Listen,
I
lot of good
have
stuff.
that collection. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. Again, I'm classic, old school. I didn't. I know the movies, the movies. Well, oh my God, when were they? Maybe 2000 or something, or was it in the 90s?
The live action?
Live action.
I think right around 2000. Yeah, with Freddie Prinze Jr. and
yeah, that one. I think that might be okay to watch. You know, I know my kids liked it.
Yeah, I actually liked it.
Yeah, I couldn't really get into it though, but you know, I get it. But the thing is, Professor Hyde White is gone, and boy, when we find out where he's at, Dave, I mean, come on, can you not step down from your pedestal? No, okay. Anyways, so yeah, they go and they find the glasses in the van, and you know this,
he could at least have made a yummy sound.
Yeah, at least no Frankenstein sound. But Scooby, he makes words. He can speak human
when he wants.
Yeah, in this episode, he lets people know what he wants. I don't want to do this. You know, it actually came out in the words. But yeah. So they go to the where do they go? They go to the library to find out.
They go to the public library.
Oh, go ahead, Dave. I gotta calm down.
And they look at
took 7 shots of espresso or something.
Well, I'm gonna partake in some watermelon peach vitamin water.
Oh, you okay?
Why wouldn't I be?
Well, vitamin water. I don't know. You depleted? You dehydrated?
Sometimes the antioxidants run low.
Too hot.
School ended on Friday, man. I'm wiped out.
Ooh, roll, Raggy. Zoinks, Scoob, get out of here before you're caught. Anyways,
so we're at the public library. They're looking at a book. They all look up because they read that archaeologists wear these glasses. Back to the museum, guys.
Well, jeweler.
Well, they say jewelers and a few other job titles
related,
but then the last one is and archaeologists, and they're all Professor Hyde White.
Oh, and they also say in somebody with bad eyesight who wants to read books.
Okay.
I just got jeweler out of there, but anyways, maybe your episode was longer, Dave.
Maybe I was more engrossed by it.
The director's cut. Dave watched the director's cut. Okay, so now that they know that, and this leads them right back to the museum, and they're going to break in, Dave.
They are. They're going to actually break the law.
They're going to break the law.
But first, they're prepared. They're prepared for anything because Fred goes to the mystery machine and pulls out this super long ladder that's longer than the mystery machine.
Well, their plan is to break in the back because all doors and stuff are locked to the window way up top.
Well, on the placard, museum rear entrance.
There's a lot of funny little. Again, Dave, you got to look at everything in the picture and in these like show because there's some stuff that happens that like the artists put in and stuff. I think back then they would goof around with you and stuff like that. So I don't know. But anyways, yeah. They're going in the back. They're going to go in the top window up there, and they elect Shaggy to go up there.
Yep.
And Dave, they go into the van, and this is when we see everything in the van. There's all kinds of junk in there and stuff like that. If I let anything out or leave anything out, you can fill it in. But Fred brings out the ladder and puts it against the wall. And he says, "It's not tall enough." And that's where we get, I think Velma mentions it about him being a gymnast.
A swinging gymnast.
Swinging gymnast.
He's the swingingest gymnast in school.
Well, good job. Okay, you got the line down. Yeah. Swinging is so even with that though, he can't reach.
Well,
so
Fred, how did they get up even higher with the ladder?
Oh God, Fred has this bright idea to bring out the car jack, jack him up. And he starts to jack up the ladder. And it still, I don't think, was high enough when he got to the top. And then Shaggy just like kind of flew through the window.
He did. He did a somersault upside down up into the air, defied gravity, and went into the window. And then you hear like basically it was like Donkey Kong or some other type of game where you can literally see Shaggy on the inside of the building running down like all through the artwork, through the galleries, down the stairs, and at the very bottom, there's just a big pile of broken art.
Yeah. Yes. And which I'm like going, oh my God, not only are they breaking in, but they're destroying everything in this museum. Scooby's already stole the pair of glasses. Shaggy's just destroyed half the medieval room. And WTF Horror and Sci-Fi says, which was worse, Scrappy or Flim Flam? Man, I tell you what, I could not stand Scrappy. It's like nails on a chalkboard. I just could not take Scrappy at all. But anyways, but Flim Flam, what was Flim Flam on, Dave? Was he a Scooby character? No.
I remember the name. I couldn't tell you who he was though.
Dang it. Who's Flim Flam? Who's he from? All I know is Scrappy was as annoying as can be. Anyways, what the heck? Dave's doing something off camera we don't want to see. Maybe he's looking up Flim Flam. So what's Dave?
I'm yawning. I just didn't want to yawn in front of everybody.
Dave's yawning.
I'm grading. I'm busy.
I know. It's a Saturday.
There's a party next door, like 3 doors down.
And he wasn't invited either.
I wanted churro, I'm like, hello.
Let's see. Betty says, why are your Bastion, Scooby-Doo, and Scrappy-Doo for those cartoons were the best? Why are your Bastion, Scooby-Doo, and Scrappy-Doo for those cartoons were the best? I'm going to leave that up a little bit because that's just quite odd. Betty, it's just autocorrect, I guess. Let's see. Betty also says, Flin Flam is from the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. Okay. Well, Scrappy was on way more episodes, though, right? So, yeah. Are 13 Ghosts? Well, maybe not. I don't know. How many episodes of 13 Ghosts?
And hello, Ricky Spanish.
Hey, Ricky Spanish. What's going on? Hello from Columbus, Georgia, and Fort Moore. Benning.
Nay.
Georgie. Fort Nay Benning. Okay. There you go. Good to see you. Zoinks, the podcast. Yeah.
And I will say, they did get their money out of Scooby-Doo with all the spinoffs, with everything. I mean, there is like, can you imagine that family tree, what that would look like?
Oh, and I think overboard, though, is what I would say. I don't think they needed to go out that far with it. And
what bothers me is the different voice actors that came later and then made for TV movies that were just, horrible voice actors, just like, nah.
Well, I mean, it's like anything. Once you hear the original, I mean, that's what you fall in love with, right? And
it's like Darren McGavin not being in Kolchak.
Right? Yeah. But yeah, no. Anyways, so he does go to the back door, Shaggy, and he lets everybody in. And listen, 41 minutes in, and we haven't even got 2 episodes to talk about.
It's okay. I'm worried Shakedown's going to be incoherent by the end of our show because he's already taking shots and drinks.
Zoinks! No, I better not push it. Don't forget Scooby-Dee, Scooby-Dum, Scooby. Okay, I get it.
Okay. Scrappy is bad. Scooby-Dumb is even worse. That will be the person who I will hate the most.
Okay. Mariachi bands and margaritas and Dave's hanging. Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hey, Andrea, what's going on? And welcome, Betty. Speaking of Hanna-Barbera, Betty Rubble, Flintstones got to be up there as one of my favorites.
Cool.
No. So, anyways,
We're
let's
in
come
the
all in the
museum
back of the
now.
museum. What's that?
We're in the museum. We
Okay.
need to give Scooby some Scooby snacks in order to stand guard over everything. And
Yes.
he doesn't want to, but he does take the Scooby snacks. They do pass the Indian sculpture for the first time during this portion, and eyes move, just like we see in pretty
All
much
the old haunted house movies.
Oh
And
yeah,
stuff like that.
totally.
Yeah. So something's going on. Somebody's in that Indian or Incan type, garb is what I say. But yeah. So he gets a Scooby stack and he's doing his guarding, and go ahead.
But then he gets scared of his own shadow. And he runs and he catches up with Velma and Shaggy.
Yes.
But then Shaggy gets separated from the group.
Yeah, Velma and Scoob start looking for Shaggy.
And Scooby is way scared. So we actually have to wrap Scooby's mouth with the bandana.
Because his teeth kept chattering. But yeah, no, the Black Knight starts following them. So it gets kind of spooky there, maybe. I don't know. But this is when Velma loses her glasses for the first time. And the Knight, she kind of goofs, thinks like the Knight is Scooby because the Knight's right behind Velma, and Velma knocks the Knight into a wooden pillory. It's one of those medieval devices where the head goes in and the arms go in, and you're trapped. And what was she doing, Dave? She was giving him some kind of medicine.
Well,
some red cough syrup.
He was growling. And she thought, because she didn't have her glasses on, she thought it was Shaggy.
Yeah.
And, oh, Shaggy, you're still sick. And we've never seen Shaggy sick the whole 15 minutes of the episode we've been watching so far. So she digs out in her purse and she gives him some cough medicine.
Yeah.
And, of course, the real Shaggy shows up just in time to get a mouthful of cough medicine. He's all, yuck.
Yeah, who knows what it was? I mean, she didn't say, but Scooby is the Great Dane, Scott. Row. Yes, the Great Dane, Scooby. Scooby and Scooby-Doo had an extended greeting dance routine. I only saw Scooby-Doo ones.
I can still remember, high five, low five, and then they'd, hug each other, and I hated that, because I think Chris W. mentioned that she would watch it at the beginning or end of her mother's soap operas, and very same with me. In the summer when I was in Arizona with my grandparents, we watched the program, and then we had afternoons, we had Scooby-Doo, and then we had Batman, the animated series, which was really good.
Okay, nice. Yeah, very cool. Okay, so the Knight is in the pillory. He's trapped.
Is that what it's called?
It's called a pillory.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And Shaggy comes. Well, Shaggy gets a mouthful, but then he says, listen, he takes him to a room and he says, there's a painting missing from the wall. And then he goes and gets the rest of the gang, Daphne and... did I miss something? Go ahead, Dave.
You missed one little section that was really good.
Okay.
Because in between that, Scooby found the dinosaur room. And he goes, oh, my God, look at all these bones. And he starts salivating, right? And so he goes to the T-Rex, and he takes his ankle bone or whatever, and all of a sudden the T-Rex falls on top of him. And then we see the Black Knight one more time, and then Scooby jumps up, and the T-Rex goes right back into its original location.
What would that be? $1 million? They're destroying this museum to get a criminal.
Priceless work, yes.
Oh my God! Everybody's naming it. Who named it? J.O.B. says Shaggy Dimetap. No, it was red. So it was more Robitussin, I guess. Dimetap was the grape cough medicine. And that was some good stuff. That was just like melted grape candy. Oh, I never cared to get Dimetap. I'm like, yeah, give me it, I mean, I think when I got sick when I was a little older, I went, man, this stuff tastes so good. This,
As a kid, I never got cough medicine per se.
Well, that's all right.
I got the Vicks Vapor Rub.
Yeah.
Which I still love the smell of, by the way. I mean, that is amazing. Mentholyptus or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
But we had the, not the chewables, but the, what is that? It's like a candy, but it's a cough medicine. And I just remember the TV commercial where they were yodeling.
Oh, Ricola.
Ricola, that was it.
Ricola.
Yeah, that's what we had. And
my grandmother always had Hall's Mentholyptus.
Oh, those were awful.
It was a big brick of like Mentholyptus. It was so strong.
It was, and you had to unwrap each one, I think.
Oh yeah. It was strong. They did have, I think, a different flavor, but that Mentholyptus, oh my God. Anyways, Shaggy says there's a painting on the wall. It's not there. He goes back and gets.
They look like this.
Yes. Oh my God.
And then you had to unwrap them. Oh my God.
Is that a Hall's?
No, it is a Reed's candy.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Nice. Okay. Dave sits at the park bench sometimes and gives those away. What was Fred and Daphne doing? I'd like to know.
Well, I would too. I'd like to be Fred for sure.
Wow. Yeah, Fred. Wow. We were in the anyways. So they come back all together. The whole gang is there, and they go, "Oh, there's no painting missing." And yeah, that's when the mystery starts to kind of
blood on the ground.
There is paint, evidently, I guess.
And you love that little, they're dipping their finger in the blood. Like, hello, what if it is blood?
Yeah.
And
or the detective back in the day that would taste it. Yeah, that's blood.
Oh.
I mean, come on, what the heck?
Oh.
What's wrong with you? Oh my God. My mom would always have lifesavers. They were good. Well, lifesavers are good, but man, Halls, I'll never forget that. And it always remind me of my grandma because she had them all the time. She loved it. I could breathe again. Woo! Hey, look at that. Holy Moses, smell the roses.
Wow.
Biggest super chat in years. Thank you very much, Tom Night Music. 1999 super chat. Good evening, Dino and all. Been dealing with some heavy life issues. Merry Christmas, yes, to you all and Dino. Thanks for all you do and make life happier, times a lot easier with all your offerings. Cheers. Thank you, Tom Night Music. I've been wondering what's been going on with you. It's been a while. Been a little while. Thank you for the super chat and Merry Christmas and sending you some love, buddy. Hopefully things get better. Thank you. And if I kept it up there too long, like, look at Dave, just put your arms up, your fingers up over it, like you're climbing up over it. I can't see so well. Thank you, Tom Night Music. Much love, man. Okay. So the trail leads up to
a secret room.
Yes. I love secret rooms.
Opens it up. And there's all these art supplies. There's easels, there's paintings, there's paints and all that.
Well, immediately you know what's going on. I mean, there's two of the same paintings right up there.
Right next to one another. And one of them's half done. One of them is the original. Fred says, let's go get the sheriff.
Yeah, let's go get
Daphne.
the sheriff. Well, because they said we see what's going on now. There's two pictures of paintings. They're stealing the paintings and they're trying to paint it and they're going to steal the real one and put a fake one up. So they must have a pretty darn good artist there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they're recreating the Mona Lisa and all that other stuff, although it's not at this museum. But, you never know.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
So Daphne opens up the door, and there's a reason she's known as Danger Prone Daphne. The Black Knight is right behind the door.
Well, listen, they're all clumsy as hell, but maybe Fred's not so much. But you would think Shaggy, being the gymnast, would be the most, non-klutzy. Is that a word?
Maybe.
Hey, I like that guy. He's very non-klutzy. Like, get a lot of chicks that way. Hi, Dave. How you doing?
Great.
Okay.
So we have a chase scene with the knight.
Oh no! So we're chasing the knight.
But first of all, we're chasing him in the art room. And this was great because what he first does is like
what the morning people do. They chase the knight.
They do. Shaggy hides behind a painting and the knight just punches right through the painting. And then Shaggy puts his face in the painting.
Yes.
Scooby runs over with another easel and he's dressed up like Michelangelo with a little hat, little, thing on.
Yeah.
And he starts going like,
Well, he says, that is the funny part. He says, help me. Shaggy goes, help me, Scoob. And Scooby just immediately gets into that French artist, like on Three Stooges. Remember when Pop goes the easel? Is that it?
Oh, that's a good show. Oh, that's a good episode.
Yeah. And he comes over and then he squirts, like you just said. I think you said squirts the paint at the knight, and then they take off. And they're trying to get away under a bearskin rug.
They do. They hide underneath the bearskin rug and they move along in the bearskin. And then the knight saw, you're not going to trick me. And he steps on the bear's tail. And it's like Scooby and Shaggy don't know that the bear's not on them anymore.
Do you know how many times they've used that gag in Scooby-Doo?
It's still good, though. It's still
Let's
good.
go back to the bearskin rug. That's Hanna-Barbera. I think they have a bear kind of what would you call it? No, they have like when you really love something a lot. What do you call that?
A wife?
What the heck is wrong with you? When you love something a lot, you call it your kids, maybe? I
don't know.
Your
I don't know.
your Okay, anyways, it doesn't matter. I was trying to go somewhere and I blew it. So next thing is they're standing over, or they're sitting in an airplane, Dave.
Oh, they run into what's called the relic room. I don't know why it's the relic room, because it has, oh my gosh, it has tanks. It has airplanes. It is so cool. Yeah. And then
Obsession. We're coming up with a bunch of names for thank you. You guys are all awesome. A fetish. Wow. A fetish. That's what I meant. He has a Hanna-Barbera have a bear fetish. So that's why you get Yogi Bear and you get a lot of bear characters and you get these bear. Anyways, that's the joke's far gone. But we got obsession, adore, money, fetish. There you go, sweet indigo. Yeah. Obsession, fetish. There you go, Lenora. You got it. You got it. Anyways, let's move on. So they're sitting in the relic room in the plane, and I love when Shaggy goes, listen, I'm going to get him with my ventriloquist routine. I can throw my voice across the room. It's going to be great.
Help me out of this jar.
Scoob, help me out of this jar. Yeah, he throws his voice so that the knight thinks he's coming from the jar. And then all of a sudden, they start the plane like this isn't a Three Stooges. I swear to God, there's so many Three Stooges references in there.
Oh, there is. There is.
And Costello.
So
Marx Brothers, whatever.
Not Shaggy's tail, Scooby's tail. Yeah. Click the on button. The plane starts up, but of course it's released from its holding capacity up above from the ceiling. And the plane starts going. And then as we saw, who just said it? Shake
Oh, God.
Break off as we go through the doorway.
Yes.
And it's following the Black Knight. And then
I love when they fly. Literally, I think they flew a plane in one episode, like through the room wherever, whatever room they flew a plane.
Are you talking about the Three Stooges?
No, in Scooby-Doo. Not this one.
Okay.
But they've literally, anyways, my
Well,
point
there was a
being,
crop dusting one with the Red Baron where they were doing a spraying over fields, and instead of using fertilizer, it was actually weed killer, and it was killing the crops.
oh gosh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
What a sad story you told.
No
there,
Baron,
Dave.
that one.
No. Anyways, yeah, they kind of, it breaks their wings off, and they somehow knock the knight against the wall, and he's like all tumbled over dead. Yeah, but he's not dead, And the reveal, Dave.
This actually made me mad. They pull the top off. It's Mr. Wickles or whatever we decided to call him. And Fred's all, just as we thought. And I'm like, what do you mean, just as we thought?
Know. Yeah. Where did you get that from? Nowhere in this episode did they hint that they thought it was, listen, I think it's Mr. Wickle or Wiggum. Somebody said it was Wiggum earlier, but whatever. It doesn't matter. Mr. Wickle. And yeah, no. And then when the sheriff comes, they go, well, where's Hyde? Where's Hyde? And he's been the one tied up on a pedestal, tied up with the Incan garb or Indian garb. And this is what got me. Couldn't he have just stepped down from the pedestal?
Or fallen.
And can't get up.
Know where he was the whole time.
I've fallen and I can't get up. Yeah, I don't understand that, but yes, Hyde. And then they have their usual at the very end, their sit down. Wait, what?
Since we're doing old commercials, I've fallen and I can't get up. I just remember this one where you could have one of 3 different choices if you signed up for this service. And this old woman says, I got the microwave.
It wouldn't have been to open a bank account. That's too much to offer for.
No, I think it was the Life Alert. If you signed up, you get like either a microwave or some other type of prize.
1 year of but then you find out it's like 5 years of service. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
you gotta pay so much a month.
Before the cell phones came out. Good God.
Jeez, I have the same initials as Scooby-Doo. Yeah,
and Scrappy-Doo.
Your real name Shakedown? Really? Yeah. Oh, honey, we're going to name our kid. I got the perfect one after my grandfather. It's Shakedown. So I don't know if that's true.
Could be worse. Could be normal. Could be normal.
Anyways, that's kind of funny. Okay, so yeah, I love their sit down at the end when they're at the desk and Mr. Hyde's going in his deep voice. I'm a male actor from the 40s.
And that was not an English voice by any means.
No, he didn't come from England. And now we got a half hour, so let's get to it, Dave.
No. We have one more thing to talk about because Scooby-Doo dresses up as the Black Knight, and he's sitting up on the desk. And if you look at the armor, he's got paw armor.
What? Did I miss that?
Yes, you did.
He has paws.
Yeah, his paws were in the the Black Knight. It was awful.
My God.
So it was so good.
Okay.
But since we are at top of the hour, I'd like to go over some of our future shows, and then we'll get into episode 2.
Go ahead, Dave.
All right, it's opening. Hold on.
Let me see how many thumbs up we got here.
I'll bet you we have 65.
82 thumbs up.
Oh,
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, love it. Yeah,
Right.
Zoinks 60. Oh no, 82 thumbs up. Okay, Dave, go ahead. Go for it. What do we got coming up in the future?
Well, next week we have another great episode. We're going to be doing Kolchak wrap up, just like for Christmas. Yes. Top 5 and bottom 5. So we're going to have Kolchak memories next week. That is our last episode of the year.
Is it? Okay.
We have done a lot of episodes.
Yes, we have. You could find them all in our playlists and everything else we got on the channel.
January 5th, our first show of 2025 is a prediction show. That should be a lot of fun. We're going to take a look at what people thought of last year and hopefully you all can come up with some great predictions for 2025.
Yes.
Then we're going to be covering the Norless tapes, the film. And that'll be exciting. Our very first Sherlock Holmes, The Hound of the Baskervilles, 1939. The last show of January is an Art Bell show with Father Malachi Martin. So bring some brandy for that one because that's going deep.
Yes, a lot of good shows coming up here. Listen,
Oh,
I think even the bad shows are good shows. So,
Well,
you can always expect entertainment. Honestly, if you're expecting a bad show, come, because most of the time we veer off topic and there's some of the funnest shows we've done, Dave.
Yes.
I think.
And I was going to mention with Tom Night Music, last week was a pretty rough week for myself with the end of school. There's just so much to do. It's just very overwhelming. The holidays are here. Oh my God, there's too much to do. So I was doing just some regular, stuff. I was listening to our Remembering Art Bell podcasts.
Yes.
And I got to listen to the first 3 right in a row. They were fantastic, reminiscing about all these old guests, Sean David Morton and, people like that. I know you don't like Sean David Morton, but
I have a problem with him. I don't know. He was always selling stuff and, pushing it. And I'm like going, stop it and just talk already. And he had to constantly talk about my friendship with Daniel Brinkley. Listen, Art Bell, we're friends. I know all the people hobnobbing with the guy. Listen, it was just too much, but I get it, Dave. Sorry. I know you like him. But it's funny to say you like to go back and listen to yourself, and some of the things you do, but it's like memories. They're memories, So going back and even me, like going back and listening to some of these older things they're kind of fun. And the fact that YouTube saves the chats only adds more to the experience because you get to see what everybody was talking about, who was around and who's still around, who was around back then. It's so fun. It really is. But some good stuff coming up.
And KJ just mentioned Linda Moulton Howe. I just watched the episode of Skinwalker Ranch with Linda Moulton Howe, episode 6, season 1.
Yeah, about the cattle that was mutilated, and she came in and talked about that. Yeah. Okay, let's get to the second one and fit that in. So number 2, episode number 2, A Clue for Scooby-Doo, season 1, episode 2, September 20th of 1969. So this is the glowing diver that they encounter here, Dave.
It is. This is actually an 8.0, which is so funny because the first 2 episodes are higher than any of the Kolchaks are covered. Welcome to Harry Scott as well. Good to see you.
I think this is the top rated. And hello, Harry Scott. Zoinks, Scoob. I finally made it. Hi, boy donuts to you. Yeah.
And again, great opening. Full moon over this cloudy, kind of foggy ocean scene. And we have the coast. We have the sign that says Rocky Point Beach. But in between the coast and the sign are these glowing footprints.
Walking straight into the water in the glowing diving suit.
So
it's a scene. It's the scene of Scooby-Doo that is ingrained in my memory. Like this is the episode, something about the glowing. I'm not saying it's the best episode, but for some reason it's ingrained in my head. And that's what I remember from my childhood is that glowing diving suit, which I actually a little bit, listen, I steal a lot of things from, inspiration wise, but there's a glowing, episode of the Clue Club. So anyways, and it's all like, I didn't know there was a Clue Club series, but the Clue Club series that I did on the channel took inspiration from Scooby-Doo. But anyways, enough with that. So here we go. We're going to Rocky Point Beach.
We are.
Yes.
And the gang is headed out there because they're going to have a party. That is so weird. It's at night, and it must be in the summer because they're like, dancing.
Well, I think Fred's got it going on, man.
Fred does, and Daphne, they're all like, dancing around. Velma's not there. I guess Velma's reading in the Mystery Machine.
She's got
Because
research to do. Yeah.
Shaggy is doing what I would love to do, and that's just barbecuing on the beach, barbecuing hot dogs. Scooby's going to come around and have some hot dogs with him later.
Looks like a good time, man.
Oh, fantastic time.
Oh,
Scooby is actually surfing again at night,
yes.
and he
We're
pulls,
going to go roofing.
and I guess you could say he's dog paddling.
Yeah.
And then he pulls up this glowing
Diver.
old, I don't know what you would call that thing, though.
The diving suit?
The diving suit, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's a particular name for that apparatus.
Well, they even referred to as a diving suit throughout the episode. So
okay.
Yeah. Here's thanks to the diving suit, Velma, Fred says. And Shaggy goes, yes, Scoob, they're air tank. Whatever. Oh my gosh, Dave. Scuba gear. No, that's different. There's just tank and rubber suits to keep you from. Wait, what? Donald Duck apple juice is actually a Minnie Mouse urine sample. Disgusted? As apple juice? Sorry, couldn't resist it. Disguised as apple juice. What the heck? Just actually, what the Tom Night music? What? What is going on there? We say Donald Duck apple juice all the time, just for the fact that our good friend who passed away from cancer, Dennis, RTN Productions, would always come in and go, Donald Duck apple juice. And we would always say, Hi Boy Donuts too. And so that's it. But a lot of people like Donald Duck. I know Dennis liked Donald Duck apple juice, but Tom Knight didn't. Sorry, couldn't resist. No, not at all. Anyways, okay, let's go. So he bumps, Scooby bumps into the glowing diving suit, and Shaggy runs away. He's scared.
He does. But then, like later on, we regroup at the malt shop.
Yes.
I love the malt shop.
I love that this is where they're gathering.
It is. And that's something we don't have here in Southern California. Not any, we have Starbucks, I guess that would be very similar. But we don't have, even as a kid, a malt shop where we would just hang out and have cool things. We don't even have a lunch counter type of place where we could get malts,
And have you lived in that area where you're at now? Most of your life?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because we had our spots. Like there was there was a chain of stores called Woolworths.
Sure.
But there was another one that was an offshoot that was almost exactly like that called Silverman's. And they had this long 1940s diner with the porcelain table, bar area where everybody would, just like you would see in all the 30s and 40s movies. And the bar stools going all the way down, and behind that, and literally 5 feet behind you were racks of clothes and other stuff that they were selling. And then the toys. So it was, we had a spot like that, and it was really kind of cool.
Did you ever have a Marshall Fields?
Never heard of. I don't know what you're talking about.
They're mostly in the Midwest around Chicago.
Okay.
But they would even, when you walked in, they would have cashews warmed up and salted.
Oh,
you could,
nice.
grab a small bag of those, and chocolate Franco mints. They would offer those and everything like that. But yeah, we didn't have anything with a malt counter, and that is something I would have loved to have had as a kid.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, and Harry Scott remembers it. A couple people, Shakedown, I knew Woolworths. Well, that was just as it stayed in the area for I think through up until 1990, and that stayed there all that time, and then was gone, and they got rid of it. So yeah, those days were gone. Why not? Let's wait. We got an episode. I was going to go on and complain about why they're not there no more, but geez, we got not that much time. So, although we can wrap this one up pretty quickly. I love Ebenezer Sharp.
pretty quick. So of course, again, it is a flashback to the malt shop, to the newspaper, because that's where they're getting their information, where they're reading a story about Ebenezer Shark and Captain Cutler.
Ebenezer Shark.
Which is such a great name. And they're reading about another ship that's disappearing in this particular area. And so then they go and see Ebenezer Shark, which is one of those classic Scooby-Doo characters. You know, one eye is bigger than the other, and he's looking at
cap on, and
he's tall. He's got his, jacket collars up, and just such a cool character.
You know he's an evil character already, although they're throwing you off a bit. He's a red herring. But anyway.
I thought for sure he was going to be like an undercover police officer.
I don't think they had anything like that on Scooby-Doo.
Oh, I think they did.
Did they? I'm trying to remember.
They did, I think, but we don't see that maybe till season 3.
Okay. There were some undercovers then. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go to see Ebenezer, and he starts to talk about, the ghost of Captain Cutler. He crashed, and I think he'd be coming back because he was mad at. What did he holler before his ship went down?
I'll be back.
That was Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll be back. Get to the chopper. I'll be back. No,
Which,
said something.
By the way, just a quick Arnold Schwarzenegger tie-in. My college degree has Arnold Schwarzenegger's signature on it. I know it's auto-pen, but he was the governor of California when I graduated college. So he's
nice.
His signature's on my thing. But Scooby-Doo is investigating in Mr. Shark's place, and he falls through like this open pit, and he gets involved with the diving suit. I think that's what we'll call it. And it's he goes, it looks like he found my diving suit.
He found me old diving suit, which I haven't worn for years.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That is your red herring.
Yeah. And then where do they go from there? Because then they start talking about
the lighthouse, because we have to meet Captain Cutler's wife.
Okay, well, yes, and that's where we find out that they're basically yachts are going missing.
Yes.
In this cove area where all these ships have crashed and went to the bottom of the sea. Me getting me pirate on is what me doing. Maybe I should take my eye out. Wait, who'd you just look at? See, the ghost's appearing again. I know it's Bo up on the shelf. But when you do that, you freak me out, Dave. I think you're looking at a ghost. Somebody's coming. It's like me going like this. I mean, wouldn't you freak out if I did that?
It's only freaks out when Aiden comes in to talk to you. And then you're talking, and I hear this disembodied voice. I'm like, is he throwing his voice like Shaggy?
Am I to be doing the ventriloquist?
Out of this.
I'm gonna throw my ventriloquist trick out there. Okay, so that's the gist of all of this. There's yachts that's going missing from the harbor, and yes, then they make their way to old Widow Cutler's place.
Yes. And I wrote down, this is exactly like the fog, because there's a lighthouse. It's all foggy. We've got Widow Cutler. Knock on the door. And again, it's like, hey, no one's answering. Let's just go in.
Yeah.
And they're walking in, and I think Shaggy says, man, this place is furnished an early Halloween.
Yes, this place is furnished an early Halloween. I love that line. I wrote that down. Yay. Oh. Okay. Oh no, I was a little.
And then so Scooby, he's like always hungry, and he sees like this kettle on the fire, and he goes,
"She's making a stew.
This is great." And Widow Cutler comes in. She goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't hear the doorbell. I was up tending the light. Oh, I'm doing my wash here."
Yes. Before that,
yes,
though, because Velma goes, looks like she's into some witchcraft.
Yep.
And Shaggy goes. Scooby picks up this jar, and he goes, "You got the can of hyena laughs." And Scooby opens up, and it's hyenas laughing. I'm like, how did they get those voices in there, Dave?
I don't know. And then there was the Eye of the Newt, wasn't there?
Did you grow up most of your life thinking there was when you put a seashell up to your ear that you were actually hearing the sea?
Yes.
I always said like, what? You were very naive, Dave. But no, but I believe that. I'm like, how the heck did they get? Why is the sound still in there? So
I only did it one time because I was scared there was something still in the shell
like
that would just grab your ear, like alien.
No, they had me at an early age believing like, yeah, that's the sea, and then your imagination, and you're like, lay it at your ear when you go to bed at night, and you can hear the sea. Oh, listen. Anyways, let's keep going. So we're at the old widow Cutler, yeah, and she's doing her laundry. That's not really stew. Thank God they didn't drink any of it.
Yep.
Because she's got to have some bad old granny panties in there, and she's washing them. You don't want to go sipping out of that. Like Archie Bunker, he took a sip. He thought Edith was making a pot of something for dinner, and he gets a spoon and he goes like this. He goes, oh, and he looks in there, and here Gloria was dyeing a pair of, from the Rit dye packages. He's dying to prevent, and I'm like going, oh man, that's not good. That's poison. Anyways. Speaking of banana splits, another banana splits hour. That's a Hanna-Barbera. I don't think we'll get to. I think I might do a whole show on Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Anyways, Dave,
they would actually make some really nice shorts for the channel. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah. Okay.
I wrote down she says that I wouldn't have resurrected Widow my husband if I knew what problems he would be causing. I would have left him under the sea.
I would have left him where he was, under the sea, like Little Mermaid.
I am surprised they didn't bring up like, oh, he's in Davy Jones's locker.
Right.
But they didn't even bring that up. So
then back to the beach.
Yes, we see some glowing seaweed that's moving by itself, and
because she found out that only in this area is there a phosphorus glowing algae where all the ships are.
Yes, and again, we find that from a book rather than our iPhone.
Well, right. Going to your what? Entomology? Is that bugs? Wait.
I think that's the study of insects.
Okay, so I'm wrong. Yeah, entomology. What's the study of the flowers and stuff?
It's herbarium is where we would store plant samples.
Okay, I'm sorry to throw that difficult question out to you, but
it's a good question now.
Yeah.
Ponder that.
Do you really have a glass eye, Dino? No, I don't have a glass eye. Dino building with a glass eye. No, I don't have a glass eye. Although Peter Falk had one, but
And Casey Kasem played Peter Falk on an episode of the Hardy Boys Nancy Drew Hour.
Yes, he did. Casey Kasem. He listen. I would take that transistor in and listen to every top 40 throughout the 80s and 90s. And then it stopped. But anyways,
they make Scooby-Doo.
Flowerology. Wait a second, you're messing with us. Flowerology. Anyways, okay, so there's a phosphorus plant, and that's how why the diver's glowing. And man, it must really be potent because he's making footsteps back to the Rocky Mountain there. But go ahead, Dave, if I missed anything. I don't know.
But
reveal coming real quick.
All right. So then the whole gang is dressed up
in diving suits,
up to date modern diving suits,
in a very expensive yacht. Yeah.
They're headed out on this boat, right?
Yeah.
And they're looking like, look, there's a bottle. There's a note.
Oh.
What does it say? It says no deposit, no return.
Yeah. It says no deposit, no return, Scoob. Zoinks. No.
But then they go into the graveyard of ships, which was amazing. I mean, all these old schooners and like Victorian age ships, just like kind of half submerged in the water. And that's where they kind of dock and they just kind of all go into the water.
Yeah, I love that they found all of the diving or all this expensive equipment, and they're out there on the yacht, and they look a ways and they see that there's one yacht that's got the engine going. Let's
Yeah.
follow it, guys, and they start to follow it to
They
a
do.
big
They follow
old
it into a cove,
cove. Yes,
and all of a sudden the ship's gone. We don't know what happened to it.
no,
And
we
so
don't.
they turn around, and then this is where they go diving themselves. Um, and they can talk underwater just as they can talk above water. There must be mics in their high-tech diving suits. This is where they run into the ghost.
America's Top 40. The ghost of Captain Cutler.
And Velma, Fred, and Daphne get locked into a room that Scooby will eventually break through the wall and let them out as he's running away from the ghost.
Oh, yes, being trapped in the ship and all that. Yeah, gotcha.
And then I'll fast forward to where Shaggy sits on a rock.
Yes, because they couldn't get in there. Kind of like Lord of the Rings and the dwarves waiting to get in that secret mountain. Okay, that's over you guys' head. But Shaggy goes and sits back. And you know what? The word I was thinking, listen, I'm just thinking maybe horticulturalist books. But, floriculture is the study of flowers. There's got to be something for herbs, a bunch of herbs. Which herb did you know? Anyways, it doesn't matter. So yeah, Shaggy sits on the rock and it opens up a secret door into this big inner what did they call it?
I don't know what they called it. It was an underground cavern.
Yes, an underground oh, there we go. Yes.
But I love the sound of the doors opening, whether it's a secret panel, whether it is a whole side of a mountain. It's like, it's all that same type of sound.
Did we talk about how Scooby put the air into a suit and blew up?
Oh God.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, huh?
We didn't, but that was so stupid. I'm glad we didn't.
Okay.
Because like they see, this is like they're not scared of the ghost at this time. They see the guy all dressed up, glowing and everything like that. And Scooby's like, I have an idea. And he takes the air thing that's out of the top of his head, hooks it into his suit, and he blows up. And then Shaggy obviously knows what he's thinking, pokes him with this spear, and Shaggy or Scooby goes, and goes zipping off underwater.
Yep. No, and the secret door led to an underground cavern, not a cave. It was an underground cavern. And they went, whoa, all of these yachts. We see what's going on. And it looks like they're being painted.
Subs.
A mini sub,
Yeah.
Yeah, which is quite odd. I don't know. The Germans are involved.
And they're repainting them.
Yes. Yeah, which they got to do more than just paint. But yeah, they got a whole system going there. They're reselling these yachts they're stealing. You think somebody in that small town of that they live in? What town is it? I don't even know if they mentioned that. I'm gonna have to
Rocky Point.
Rocky Point. Yes. Okay. So yeah, that's basically what's going on, and they get this big idea that they're going to trap the glowing diver by the suds.
Well, this is like a mousetrap game. If you ever played that as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, I've got the hose, and then we've got this water tank, and it's got a bar of soap.
You got a bar of soap, yeah.
And that's going to make everything sudsy and slippery. And then the ghost is going to come down this ramp, and we're going to wash him over here, and he's going to go up the ramp and into a cage. And oh my God, it's all so.
It's worked many a times on many an episode.
I'm sure it has.
But it seems like these first two, they're just injuring people because that's not quite how it works. The hose goes off and the sud starts. They can't control the hose and it's going everywhere, and suds are everywhere. And who goes and gets on a boat, right?
Scooby.
Yeah, he's going, row, I'm out of row.
But in order to, in order to call the ghost, they set off all the alarms all the bells, all the whistles are going off. Like, who the hell's doing that? And the ghost is coming out like, what is going on? I'm sleeping.
Yeah, we'll get the diver out. But the diver does come out and he's glowing and he's, oh my God, my throat. No silence, Dave. Keep going.
It only works when the light is on. Yes.
I'm out of ginger ale.
Oh no! I would here.
And I was really coughing, and that would have been bad for you guys to hear.
I'm sorry.
Woo! Don't drop the soap. Don't. Oh God, J.O. You going there? Love Mousetrap. Okay, great. The Rube Goldberg trap. Oh jeez. Okay, so all of that's going on. Scoob jumps into a motorboat. And he just coming straight at the glowing diver and crashes into him. And yeah.
Like he literally impales the diver with the lifeboat that he was on.
You would think these people would be dead. He gets hit by the boat. The helmet comes off and they go, oh, it's Captain Cutler. He is not well, at first they didn't know
who it was.
But who grabbed the green algae?
Well, what was so funny was when they first unveiled him, I thought they were going to unveil him again and it was going to be Mrs. Cutler.
Right. Because when they unveiled him, they said, who is that?
Yeah, they're all like, this wasn't in the script.
No. And
then they do the little thing. And they're all, oh my God, it's Captain Cutler.
Yes. Yep, it's Captain Cutler.
Cutscene, then we're back at the malt shop. Having another malt.
Yep.
And the only one who's really drinking all of them is Scooby, because he's got a straw contraption where he's drinking out of Shaggy's and his, and then he drinks out of everyone's at the same time and makes them disappear, where Fred ends up with the end going, now that's a mystery.
That's the end of the episode. And I thought that was...
It is, but they're reading... What's great is they're reading a story about themselves now in the paper.
Yeah, yeah.
Young juveniles learn that, or foil the, the plot. And was Mrs. Cutler involved too?
They never mentioned Mrs. Cutler at all. So I would take it she didn't know, and her husband took off and had a business going, He lived down in Brazil somewhere. I don't know. Anyways, don't drop the soap. Never dropped soap. So that's the end of the episode. It was a fantastic episode. It's the one that stuck with me growing up. And we've almost got 100 likes, 7 more thumbs up if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, and maybe we'll hit 100 here in a couple minutes. But here we go with Scooby-Doo. We're running and we're out and we're taking off. And I can't believe how many Hanna-Barbera cartoons. There's no way I'm going to get into it, but I think I'd love to do an episode just talking about all of the Hanna-Barbera episodes. I really do. I think that would be fun. Some shorts would be kind of cool too, I think, Dave. But this was fun, Dave.
It was a blast. I really enjoyed going back and dealing with Scooby-Doo and having some good childhood memories, and it was just a perfect day to watch them.
Yeah, and it's the reason I started. I know I keep bringing up Clue Club, but I think it's a good series that I got there on my channel. You can find a playlist. It's I love that there's constantly something going on. I mean, think about it: a group of kids, and there's a mystery every week, Dave, for forever. It's like, how many things can happen in this town? You know what I mean? But there's always something happening.
It's just like Cabot Cove.
True. Yes. Cabot Cove. Yes. Murder, She Wrote, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Super Friends.
It was like, I think if all the murders truly happened that did in that series, Cabot Cove would have had the highest homicide rate in the country. And it's like 35% of the people are killed in the city.
Yeah, right. That's kind of nutty. 96 thumbs up. Do we got 4 more?
4 more people.
Has anybody else? Let's get to 100. Has anybody else not hit that thumbs up button? 96. Let's get to 100. As again, the first Hanna-Barbera show was the Rough and Ready Show from 1957 to 1960. And I tell you what, they have a whole mess all through the 60s. The Flintstones started 1960 to 1966, 166 episodes. So that's
I remember the Dino Mutt Hour.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah. 96 thumbs up. Let's see. Still 96. We don't got 4 new ones. We're gonna miss it by that much. Speaking of Don Adams episodes. This is super cool tonight. Thank you, Dino and Dave. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you to Tom Knight Music for the 1999 super chat. Really, really appreciate that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I really do. And
thank you for doing this on a Saturday.
You are welcome. Yes, me and Dave. Dave's got a Christmas vacation tomorrow. Yeah, well, yeah.
With Eddie.
With Eddie, yeah. So yeah, with that said, we just missed 100 thumbs up. That's okay. We'll get it in a few minutes, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but thank you, Dave. And next week again is top 5, bottom 5 Kolchak.
I'll be ready.
So I'm going to rewatch every episode this week.
Good luck with that. Even Mr. Ring?
Sure. Certainly. If I knew Jessica Fletcher, I would have moved because one of 2 things were going to happen. You get arrested for suspect or murder. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to check one more time. 97. Okay. Anyways, with that said, thank you all very much. Overnight stream coming. Stay tuned for that. And I will see you, and Dave will see you next Sunday.